Elon Musk, the second richest man in the world and the owner of Tesla, has revolutionized the auto industry and even sent a car into space. It doesn't end there for Tesla, though. Today we're going to be talking about how Tesla is silently making humanoid robots and the reasons why. First, Tesla plans to develop its own computer chip. This computer chip will be able to be used not only for their robots, but their self-driving cars they're working on as well. Tesla is mainly known for their cars, and technically the robots are their way of branching out. Tesla's cars have been revolutionizing the auto industry ever since they were founded in 2003, and with Elon Musk recently speaking about advances in tech for their new vehicles, testing this tech in a more forgiving environment makes sense. Next is the fact that Elon has always been wary of AI being produced. He's been quoted before saying that AI will likely overtake humans in the future. When he was asked why Tesla would work on AI tech, he said at least this way they could do it and make sure that it's safe, which for someone that is running a multi-billion-dollar corporation, safety would obviously be their number one concern, especially with the idea of transferring the same tech to another part of the industry. Next, we have the idea of why they would announce it before anything was already developed to a certain point. Tesla has had a bad habit of announcing things that aren't anywhere near ready to be taken on the market. By the time they are, the announcement of the product has already been forgotten from 3 years prior. In 2019, Tesla unveiled its Cybertruck electric pickup, but they recently acknowledged that it would not be ready to be sent out until at least 2022. Tesla wouldn't announce something like AI robots until they were at least certain they had a good number of kinks worked out of the software. Next, we can just look at all of the previous projects that were announced that haven't come to fruition yet. Elon mentioned that the first chip in a human brain would be accomplished by the end of 2020. The brain computer interface company that was in charge of that project opened back in 2016. Elon said that he had verbal approval from the government to start working on a Hyperloop back in 2017. He described the idea back in 2013 to have a tube that propelled people like a railgun. There has been no development on this project, but it could be another one he's keeping a lid on. Besides that, it's not like Tesla wants to create a panic. Elon has recently mentioned that their robots would only be able to lift a small amount of weight and only be able to run so fast. So pretty much anyone or anything could outrun or overpower their robots. If they didn't have specific information on what their robots were capable of, people would instantly panic and ask questions. A solid percentage of the population is already wary of AI and what they're capable of thanks to Hollywood. Anywhere from Terminator to iRobot, Hollywood has helped instill that wariness in how far technology could grow and whether or not humankind can keep up with their creations. Next up, the first robots would only be for menial tasks. Even though drones are already being used for military use, the first AI humanoid robots will only be for small things. Need help screwing in a bolt? Call your AI over. Need someone to turn to the grocery store and pick up that item you forgot? Send your AI. The first AI will be perfect for all those little annoying things that have to get done, but you don't want to waste your time or energy doing it. The idea of having a robot completely aware of its existence, yet perfectly fine with being used for busy work is kinda nice. Another reason Tesla might have been quiet about making robots is their controversial workforce rules lately. There have been reports and findings that say their employees were forced to come back to work during the pandemic. Those employees that didn't show up during the time of crisis were terminated for not reporting in. While the pandemic has changed how businesses handle attendance and employees in general, Tesla's been trying to automate tasks in the workforce at a rapid pace anyways. The idea of robots that can think for themselves but take orders without question seems like the dream employee for a corporation as big as Tesla. Next, the use of AI technology at this scale hasn't been accomplished fully yet. AI technology has been used for years now, but not at that grand a scale as what seemingly could be argued to be a mechanical human. There are robots that are remote controlled, so they don't have to think for themselves. There are computer programs and even gaming software that thinks for itself, but doesn't have a physical form to worry about controlling at the same time. There are even computer programs that the whole point of them is to outsmart humans, which goes back to the fear of robots being too smart for humans to control. One of the ever-growing questions of AI is whether the need for it outweighs the fear of it. Elon Musk understands that and is sure to address that as this project continues. Next, Elon has previously promised to release robo-taxis in 2020. While this is another project to add to his long list of announcements and promises that haven't happened yet, the computer chip he's programming for the robots would be perfect for these taxis. Honestly, the development of this chip seems to be the solution to quite a few of his previously promised ventures. When questioned about the robo-taxis, Elon stated, "Sometimes I'm not on time, but I get it done." Quite honestly, he's accomplished enough with Tesla to prove that he very well could follow up on these robo-taxis. Another reason for silently waiting is stocks. Tesla's stocks hit an all-time high back in January of this year, but ever since then, stocks have been steadily declining, as have most other companies during the pandemic. The announcement of robots would be the perfect project to hold on to until it made better sense to bring stock values back up from a decline. While the announcement of humanoid robots wouldn't be enough to save the company from the brink of bankruptcy, Tesla has no worries of going bankrupt anytime soon. So this is the perfect way to simply boost company value if it gets too low for Elon's liking. Plus, new investors are never a bad thing when it comes to founding new technology and a creative mind like Musk's. Next up, this is also a perfect way to recruit a specific caliber of engineers. The the specific needs of a self-thinking humanoid robot attracts the kind of engineers that could revolutionize the industry even more. Of course, Tesla would love to have an umbrella of skilled personnel that it could have consistently working on the next project. Not to mention, some fresh minds on their computer chip would help iron out the bugs. Tesla has one of the world's best minds as a CEO, and he recognizes other talents that have some of the best minds. Imagine a billion-dollar corporation with nothing but amazing minds working on inventions that are only found in sci-fi movies. That's Tesla. Again, Tesla is a car company first and foremost. Any technology that is invented and produced for its robots would be interchangeable with its vehicles, as they're essentially manufacturing robots on wheels. Elon Musk is the CEO of other companies such as SpaceX, which is essentially its own privatized NASA. While the chips being designed for their robots would be great for their cars, the use of the robots themselves would be perfect workers to send out on colonization missions, as Elon has expressed before. Elon is always one step ahead of the game, and while it may seem like he's trying to ease us into the future, he's really trying to propel humankind light years into the future. He knows that resources and space on Earth are becoming limited, and controlling the human population isn't going to happen anytime soon without catastrophe. It's time for us to shoot for the stars. Finally, not to harp on how this is all really just an interesting way to work on their cars, but with lawsuits out there, this is the perfect way to say they're working on their cars without saying something is inherently wrong. Tesla has been dealing with multiple lawsuits from vehicles of theirs that were involved in accidents while their autopilot functionality was being used. While Tesla advertises that their vehicles have an autopilot feature, they still warn to be vigilant and pay attention, as there are possibilities of an accident. This has resulted in accidents that haven't been deemed as a user error or computer error yet, but if Tesla could produce a fully automated self-driving vehicle that was completely safe, it would set itself apart from any other auto company since Ford and the Model T. Hopefully whatever caused these accidents is fixed, and we can proceed in moving forward. And with that, we say goodbye and thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.